All right, well, here we go. I'm holding this camera because it's just sitting on my dash and I'm going up this steep hill. But anyways, we're heading over to Robbie Lyng's. A good friend of mine from playing pool and a very talented person in many aspects, knowledgeable person. He has a background in all sorts of contracting work, commercial, residential, anything you name it, schools, big budgets. But he also started making cues. Yeah, and I took a little bit of some of his work, and it looks pretty interesting, innovative, and high quality. I see a lot of things that are, I haven't taken I'm really excited because I haven't really seen a whole lot. He showed me some pictures a while back, and it looks like he was doing some things with like epoxy and colorful styles, and I'm a big fan of epoxy myself, and wood. But anyways, we're gonna go check out his deal, his shop. He's invited me over, take a little tour and make a little video hopefully, so this will be fun. I'd like to share this video with my good bud Bernie Garma, who I hope to visit later this week. Maybe we can watch it together. Anyways, I'm gonna shut the camera off here. We're about to get to his place. Alright, it looks like we're here. I think we're at the right place. Yes, that looks like Robbie Lyng. Oh man, I'm so jazzed I was able to make it out here and hook up with you, because after you showed me some of your stuff a while back, I'm like, dude, what does this guy got going on? I gotta check it out. Oh my goodness. Look at this. So how long have you set this up as a cue shop deal, or was it?
3 years probably.
Because you've had this garage here forever, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so what was it used for before? Just storage?
Just a garage for storage.
And then you said, hey, I'm gonna start making cues.
Yeah, I got rid of all my old construction stuff, and I ended up have a lathe for each process.
But you're still doing construction work and contracting,
Yeah, I'm retiring in August.
Okay, and is this like a transition into retirement?
Transition, yeah.
Like a laid back, enjoyable source of income, and cool. You know, I thought that might be what's going on, so I'm glad you're up to that. That's awesome. So tell me, what's going on here? What do you got? What do you got to show me?
Here, this is my bandsaw.
Okay.
Right here, I cut my pints in that, and I cut my long piece of wood. This is my table saw. You come through here, all the woods I have hanging.
Okay, I gotta stop and pause because I love woodworking.
Yeah.
I want to ask you some more questions here. So bandsaws allow you to do non-straight cuts, where a table saw is a straight cut, right?
Yes.
And so you make the blocks maybe with a table saw.
Well, you can do some straight cuts. You cut a piece of wood in four. For example, I cut all these.
Because I'm just trying to figure out, why would you use a table
pints.
saw over a bandsaw? For what purposes?
I cut them all at an angle, so that's how the pints work. So I just shove it right through there with the so.
Okay.
So that's what I do. I do pints. So I'm able to get better cuts out of them on the bandsaw.
And that's because a bandsaw is like a finer, thinner, a more accurate blade. Table saw is more rough, I guess.
Yeah. It's easy to move, straighten it, in your hand, maneuver in your hand.
Oh, right. You can do more manipulation, but a table saw has a guide, whereas a bandsaw, I guess you could put a guide on a bandsaw too.
Yeah, there is a guide for that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I see. I don't have a bandsaw, so
There's a guide. The guide is right here.
let me take a look at this.
This was my charger.
Okay.
So you guide it, so that's the difference in between. So if you want to cut it, always be safe. Safety.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's for Like, don't do this like I did this morning.
No. Keep your fingers away.
Okay, so keep going. So
The table saw, chop saw. I just use this for my, for chopping some,
sections. Perpendicular cuts.
Yeah. And I just, if I need to just
Suck it up.
I use my.
And then where does that go? Actually,
this
curiosity,
whole system-
because I don't have a dust removal thing for my woodworking, and I need one.
I'm gonna close the
Yeah,
door
go ahead.
and I'll show you exactly how it works.
Because I've done woodworking in my own home, and I just get shit everywhere, and I'm like, man, just temporarily.
So this is a dust collector right here.
Okay.
I have it hooked up to everything. So if you notice, there's
So anything that makes debris, it gets sucked up.
You notice there's no dust in here. Everything is all.
So
hooked up.
this is like the sewage system for dust. It's
Yes.
like reverse plumbing. It goes up.
And everything is all controlled by.
Okay. So you only need to open the ones that you're using
You're working on.
because you want the full suction from that area. Okay.
And
Very cool.
how much use over there? And it works
And
real strong.
so that's just like ABS or whatever. It's just
Yes. Yeah, I just used plumbing pipe and figured it out, and
cool.
yeah, it works real good. Air purifier.
Now, question for you about temperature, humidity, water, or like this wood stabilization kind
Yeah.
of thing. So explain that.
Well, most of the wood I have is already stabilized.
Okay.
So, right now.
And explain what stabilization is and how you accomplish that. How long
Well,
does it take? Is it all the same with all woods?
Yeah, it is. It goes to it's dried in the chamber. Basically, what it is, all the air is, all the moisture is sucked out of it.
Okay.
And and then you seal it. So that's why I have everything I work on. I seal everything.
Do you use an EC meter or a moisture content
Yes.
thing?
Yeah, and it's very rarely. It always goes down to 0.5. You know, you can't get any lower than that. It'll be
So
dust.
you really just want all the moisture out though.
Oh yeah.
Because
You
that
can't
seep.
get everything out. Everything doesn't come out. I mean,
Got
it's
you.
like-
Okay. Well, you get it to that lowest equilibrium point because then the wood is stabilized and it doesn't. Because moisture is like the destroyer of homes, right?
Yeah.
Moisture allows biological processes and
Yeah.
rot and all that. Right?
Now,
Expansion,
some
contraction.
ones regarding moisture when you get to cocoa, but when you get to ebony, that's pretty dense anyway. I mean, it's like
Wow, that is heavy. That almost feels like metal.
that is heavy. So most of the woods now, I like to use the
Okay, now-
this wood here. It is black ash burl.
Black
So-
ash wood
burl.
burl. Okay.
Burl. I like using burls a lot. So these are all put in a chamber with dye and dried. So and they're sealed.
So when you dye it, does it dye all the way through?
It dyes all the way through, completely all the way.
So it's
through.
not just the outer surface
It's
layer.
not
That's
the outer
interesting.
surface. The stuff I get, you can cut it right here, and you would clear as can be.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So there is some stuff you gotta be careful with the people who you buy it from, and you can see it's smooth, exactly like there.
So do you stabilize it then dye it, or do you dye it prior to getting all the moisture out, or?
Stabilize it, then dye it.
Okay, because the dryness allows the dye to be soaked in, I guess.
Then it just sucks out at the same time, you know. So it's
Right. So after you dye, do you have to restabilize it, or
well, the
does-
dye is wet, so you have to stabilize it when you take the
right?
dye out of it. So
Interesting.
It is a process. It's put in a chamber. So this one here, so I have everything labeled here.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love how organized and clean your shit is. It's awesome. Very nice. Very space efficient.
Yeah. And these are all shafts I've already done.
Okay.
All hanging.
And
all
are those
wood.
just hard rock maple, or what kind of shaft would you
They're
use?
just regular maple, you know.
So there's a difference between hard rock maple
Yeah.
and regular maple.
Yeah, this curly maple. There's different types of maple. I'll show you. So I have more hanging there. So these are getting real dry. So I keep the temperature in here pretty good. I turned it up a little bit because I have the door open.
And I'm sure this is insulated, right?
It's insulated.
This whole
And I have my own.
building envelope, vapor barrier. Or
Yeah. So I insulate up here, insulate all the walls, insulate underneath the floor.
Oh, you insulate under the floor too. And then what's
Yeah.
is there? There's no crawl space under here.
No,
It's,
no, just concrete. So just put that.
Oh,
insulation-
really? You have
yeah.
you have concrete, but you still create an
Yeah.
insulation barrier because the concrete is this huge thermal mass of coldness that will just
Yeah.
suck all the heat down.
Because in most, and that's one thing in garages and all that stuff, people don't realize that years ago they never put a moisture barrier underneath the floors
Okay.
in garages and all that stuff. That's why they always get a little damp inside and all that stuff. So
Right.
there is products and there is material you can get which will stop the moisture from coming up. So that's what I put on the top.
Which is probably important for concrete because all that moisture could create expansion, contraction, cracking,
Right.
and as well as cooling or heat, whatever.
Cooling, and then it comes up the walls, and sometimes
Yeah.
you may get a little mold or something like that.
So we're getting a little pool knowledge and a little construction knowledge here. I love it.
Yeah. So this is the lead I bring to Crown. I do all my repairs down there, and
Nice.
then as for my small repairs, big repairs.
Man, I gotta start getting you to repair my stuff. I should have. Oh man, I had this pull bag I wanted to bring and I forgot it.
Yeah. So this one here is my my lathe for doing my tapering.
Okay.
I'm gonna be doing some of them today. Basically, I have some of these already done. There's all sets already made.
So, why do you have 3 lathes? Because they're obviously for different purposes.
Well,
I see this deluxe Q Smith on all these,
Yeah.
and I don't know anything
But
about.
this is a different one. This is already set up to do tapering on my cues. I can put the cue in here; it'll taper. Oh, so it's set up.
So it's set up to your spec.
And
It's like
that's-
almost like a CNC type thing
yes,
or whatever.
I don't want to touch it.
Right.
So, and
Because you like it exactly the way you have it
and
dialed.
everything comes out exactly the same. When
Right.
when I put a piece of wood in there, I know that this angle here is the same.
Right.
These are all cues.
That's your signature design that
Yeah.
you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, and these are all cues which are ready to get together. I core my cues,
Okay.
a different process, and so this cue is pretty much ready for pints.
Okay.
So already, I use that machine for that. So
This machine for the points for making the piece that goes in there.
yeah, it's for cutting. It's for cutting pints. So basically,
What is this machine called?
this is called, actually it's called a taper shaper, but it's not really. I want to try and get as old as possible. I don't want to get into the CNC.
Right,
Press a button and here you go.
right.
I want to do more of the hand,
Right.
the hand stuff. So basically, what it does is it cuts out. Here is a piece of ebony right here, right?
Okay.
So basically, what it does, it cuts out this joint here. You can see how this joint, like so.
Right.
And you can put that's when you have the pints in here. So when you glue them all together, so that's what it does. That does all my pints. It's set up exactly. It just basically rolls. I turn on my lathe, on my router, and it will just cut it at the same angle all the time. So everything I have is exactly the same. So
Okay.
I don't have to go back and start changing this, changing that, changing this. I'm trying to keep it the old way as possible.
I like it.
You know, I go to different materials, all my drawers with. These are all cut up. These are all for pints, yellow wood.
Okay, so
Black and
this
black
thing
one.
here cuts out the groove in the butt to make the thing for the point. But how do you make the point itself to match it?
How I make the pints.
Yeah, that seems.
Yeah.
Oh, that's back with the bandsaw.
That's back with the bandsaw.
But I mean, how do you make it match? Like, how do you just like?
It has to be square. You have to make sure it is square. I have a planer which will plane it dead square.
And do you mark the wood, or you just keep checking it, or
No,
how
I
do you?
just make sure one side is square. So basically, this fits in like so.
So if it sticks out.
Yeah, this is a smaller one, you know. So basically, see, you cut them so there's not that much waste on it.
Right.
So now I'm only cutting out this much instead of that. So I cut them. So you know how you have a pint.
Okay, so if this could stick out, you just take it down, but this side is a trickier side because you have to mate it.
You just use a wider piece. You can use. I'm not saying you use that size, but it all fits into that.
Right.
You gotta make sure that this here is
90 degrees.
90 degrees and the same as
This
this.
is
one
90
here.
degrees. Gotcha.
Then you have stuff like all different inlays.
And so now, there was something I was told that I don't know if it's true. Maybe you can comment on. You know, like the standard house cue, like this, these joints.
Yeah.
I was told that this actually creates strength between the, you know, because I don't know, something. It's just like the idea between the laminate shaft and the grain.
Well, it
Is
would if it's pushing down on it. You know, there's different ways. People put a dowel all the way through there. People use a lot of cues they make now. They have they're basically bolted. So if I look at this cue here is made. It's not a one piece. So basically, what it is, there is a pin that goes through here, and there's a pin that goes through here.
Okay.
And you make it in 3 pieces.
Okay.
I sleeve mine. I have mine all 1 piece.
And so that's a 3-piece with
For
pins.
example,
Is those pins metal or wood?
metal.
Metal. They have to be metal because to be strong enough, I guess.
This is another way, which I think is a better hit, is that you get something like so. This is going to be the handle, and it's a 1 piece. So I have them exactly cut. These dowels exactly the cut, the same size, and
So that's your method of coring.
yeah,
So that is like what, a 3/4 inch, 7/8 inch diameter core,
yeah.
and then the thickness of the butt outside is like, what is it? Looks a little by a 1/4 inch, like the width,
Here, well, it's different. You use it different.
because it's bigger on one side
I'll
and
taper
thinner.
this one down. I'll cut this one down narrower than here.
Oh, we will, huh?
Yeah. So these are all glued. You'll see how some of these I have put together. I'll use the method of.
So what's your productive, like, what's your
Like
level?
this one here, this is all put together. It's all glued. So I'll put that through the machine, and it's all 1 piece then.
Okay, so these are just like
Rings.
rings. Is that metal or wood right there?
That's copper.
Copper. So you can shave that down?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I can shave all that down on that machine over there. So it's all put together, all in 1 sleeve. I core them all. I'll show you a finished product of one. Is right here. This is a finished product.
Wow, look at that. I love it. And so,
So you have the rings. You have.
and
And
you're
this is 1 piece.
and you're still doing, and close to retirement, still working a regular job.
Yeah.
How many Qs are you pumping out, like on average per whatever time period?
You know,
Are you taking your?
I've made about 10 already, and now I've have about 10 in production right now.
So when you don't just do one at a time, you have multiple projects.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a factory line
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, because you know if you're set up to do a bunch of coring,
Right.
do a bunch of coring.
Do a bunch
at
of
once.
coring, right?
Do a bunch of.
It's no different than regular work, right? If you have all the tooling and setup for it, get it all done. Don't keep
Yeah.
switching tasks.
Yeah, because you don't want to be going from one machine and taking it apart and then you miss.
Right.
So that's why. But everything, I go from all the parts. There's all. I make my own parts.
Okay, now what is this?
This is.
Is that wood?
That's
No.
no. That's Juma.
Juma.
It's like an epoxy
Okay.
resin. This is imitation ivory.
And what is this used for? Like
This is for.
that's like the
And there's your butt cap.
got you. Okay.
Right. This is your joint,
Right.
and so you come in different colors. So I make them all myself. It's cheaper, and it's more
Interesting.
efficient. I make ferrules myself.
Oh, really? So you just hollow? Oh, wait, it's already hollowed.
This
Partly.
one here is hollowed, but it's not hollowed. It's only pine. So now I have to thread it. I thread this.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
tried
yeah.
everything. I
No,
tried.
I love you. That's the one thing that someone told me, or I heard about threaded ferrules. I'm like, no, that makes perfect sense. I've had so many ferrules that rise up or lift or move around.
And here's some joint pins. You could get one of the biggest problems in the industry now is that every Q has a different pin. Predator has a Unilock. You know, some brand will have a 3/8-10 pin.
Right, right.
You know, so it's all different pins.
Right.
So, so it's then you're always doing people's shafts if they buy a Q or they buy a shaft. I have to make sure the pin is right for the butt. So
Right.
It's and some people make their own proprietary pins, which makes it a little difficult. Mez has a it's not proprietary, but it's they have a pin. Well, you can say it is proprietary. It's a wavy pin, but you know you have to spend $300 or $400 on a
More opportunity for industry products to be created and sold.
to promote their product.
Right.
I'm not big into that. There's a lot of
I like
companies
it.
will want to, the price of material's gone up, tips and all that stuff, and they want you to promote their product when you don't get a break. So if I have to set up go down to a place and do tips for people, and they want to raise their prices.
You have to raise yours. You have to pass it on.
I have to raise mine, and
Right.
I'm the one they complain to. They're not going to complain to the, you know. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies out there getting a little greedy right now.
Right.
So
What's your opinion of pins in terms of playability? Do you prefer one over the other? What kind of pins do you like? 3/8 10 or?
now, the older player will like to still want to play with that joint, the old aluminum joint.
Oh Lord!
When I say the aluminum joint, I'll use Jason Williams as an example.